Hi friend, welcome to Coffee and Bible Time. My name's Ashley, and I'm excited to share with you guys today's video all about mental health and overcoming. So I'm going to be vulnerable in this video and share my mental health journey with you guys, and I'm going to tell you about my story, not because it's easy, but because I believe God can use it to help somebody. Many of you guys have been following me for years. I've been on YouTube for over 6 years now, but specifically this past year, I had a really hard go at it with mental health. Physical, mental, emotional health, spiritual health. I was struggling in many ways, and I walked through a really low valley. And I have real video vlogs from that time that I'm going to share with you, again, for the purpose of building someone up, encouraging someone, and reminding you that if you are in a valley, you will get out of it one day soon. There is hope. There is so much hope for you. So I can't wait to show you guys my journey today. It's going to get vulnerable. It's going to get real. It's going to be honest. I'm going to show you these real video diaries, and I'm so excited to take you guys along with me and to show you the hope that we have in this life, what we can truly cling on to. So let's get right into it. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Ashley. A lot of you guys have been following my journey this past year, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey right now this past year. So a few years ago, I met the love of my life in college, and he's such a godly man. This is the man I had been praying for since I was a little girl, and God went far above and beyond my expectations, and he's taken such good care of me this past year, even though I've been on such a roller coaster ride. So thank you, Johnny, for being the love of my life and being so faithful to your wedding vows to me. So yeah, I met him and we fell in love. Well, we were just friends first, but then we fell in love. We have a whole video on that too. I'll link it. Shortly after meeting and dating, we realized we really wanted to get married. So we got married. Such a beautiful, family-centered, Christ-centered wedding. And then we went on our honeymoon. We went to Arizona. It was so much fun. It was so beautiful. But this is when the downhill slide started happening. So I had really bad anxiety on my honeymoon. It was centered around food. So I have had food anxiety for years upon years. And on this trip, it really flared up bad. I just felt overcome by my anxiety to the point of just feeling like it was taking over me. I couldn't control it. I felt out of control, and I felt very weak and almost like just hopeless to overcome this anxiety. And it really was hard because it was kind of like you expect your honeymoon to be this beautiful thing. And although it was in many ways, in the area of anxiety, it was a really, really hard struggle for me. So this was a big wake-up call for me that I needed to really self-reflect and honestly come to terms with where I was at with anxiety, and it wasn't a good place. So overall, looking back on my honeymoon, I can be bitter about it, but I'm actually not. I now look back and I realize how much I grew from that experience, and I'm a different person, a better person now today because of that. I realized what my weaknesses were, and I came back. I got a food counselor when I got home, and I started to intentionally work on this side of my anxiety. So I look back and I'm not bitter. I remember all the great memories of my honeymoon, and I remember also that there were hard memories too, but I'm learning and I'm growing from that. So then when I got back home, like I said, I was not quite expecting the hard season that would follow. I want to give a big thank you to FaithChat for sponsoring today's video. FaithChat is a personal AI-powered virtual pastor to help people grow and nurture their faith journey 24/7. They created it because they truly believe it can be a lifeline for people looking to strengthen their spiritual connection with God. We all have moments of doubt and times when we could use a helping hand or a listening ear, but not every one of us has a safe place to discuss these feelings openly. That's where this app comes in. It's a judgment-free zone where you can share your doubts, questions, deepen your understanding of your own spiritual journey. So as I started looking at the FaithChat app, it was really cool to see all the categories they had: understanding spiritual maturity, compassion and empathy, strong communication skills, leadership, vision and strategic thinking, adaptability and flexibility, integrity, accountability, interpersonal skills, humanity and servant's heart, passion and enthusiasm, commitment to personal growth. Now, within all of these, there are already some questions that are within there that you can just click on and use the chat to get some answers. So this first one I clicked on was, I struggle with self-doubt and I'm not sure how to build my confidence. And what I found out here was really cool. It said, I understand that self-doubt can be a challenging thing to overcome. Remember, you are fearfully and wonderfully made by God, and He has given you unique talents and abilities. In Psalm 139:14, it says, I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Then it goes on to give tips for building your self-confidence. It says it's important to focus on your strengths and accomplishments. Additionally, surround yourself with encouraging and uplifting people. And lastly, challenge those self-doubting thoughts and replace them with positive affirmations from Scripture. I also went into the app and I typed in my own question. What can you give me to comfort me in a time of grief? I want you to know that you are not alone. In times like these, it's important to remember that God is always with us, ready to comfort and heal our broken hearts. Psalm 34:18 says, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and save those who are crushed in spirit. This verse reassures us that God is near to us. This is AI powered by ChatGPT, and you can go in there and you can ask any question that you may be feeling right now. But really the goal of it is to be able to have a place where you can answer some tough questions and grow spiritually, especially if you feel like you don't have someone like that in your life. So I want to encourage you guys to go download this app, FaithChat, today. Linked in the description. I mean, really, reality punched me in the face. I was so excited to come back and start my life with Johnny. In 1 week, my life changed completely. I moved away from my childhood home. I left the family that I grew up with, which was super hard. They were hours away. I left my 2 best friends back in different towns, my mom and my sister. I started at a new church. I started with new friends, a new community, new working dynamics now that I lived away from my family. I had a new home. I had this new man I was living with and trying to figure out life with. I had a new role as a wife and as a pastor's wife. So it was just really hard. It was really hard to figure out marriage. And I think for me, it was so many things at once, so many changes at once that was hard for me to grasp. It was all so overwhelming for me. All of these childhood memories and scars and wounds, they kept coming up, which left me vulnerable and emotional. I found myself struggling to process the past while also processing the current days that I was living. On top of that, because of being on birth control, which I had decided to do, there were so many side effects and hormone changes that really messed with my body and really changed me emotionally. I had never been felt like I was so out of control with my emotions, and so I ended up getting off of birth control after a few months, which I'm really glad I did. But I found myself struggling to control my emotions, and honestly, God brought me into this season of learning how to handle my emotions, learning that crying is okay, learning that I need to be honest about my emotions with myself, with God, and with other people. I had shoved my emotions down for most of my life, and this was the first time in my life that I was confronting a huge fear of mine, which was my own emotions. I had run away from them my whole life, and now I was finally facing them. Another thing I realized was that I'm an anxious anxiously attached type of person. So I anxiously attach myself to one person in my life, and it's not healthy. I used to do that with my mom growing up, and as that transitioned to Johnny, it was such a heartbreaking time of realizing I had to let go of my mom, and then I attached to Johnny in ways that he felt the pressure of feeling like he couldn't fulfill me. Another area of my life that I had to confront was my social anxiety. During COVID, I had gotten so used to being in my own little comfortable bubble, and now I had a new life as a pastor's wife and as someone who was constantly in community and with people and going to events with new people. Our church in our new town, my new town, is very big, and so it was so scary for me to be around so many new people, and I really did not know how to confront my anxiety with people and how I could overcome that. It felt so overwhelming and so hopeless. I had to acknowledge with myself that I was not okay. I had to be honest about where I was at and seek help. Seek help from the Lord, seek help from other people, seek help from professional counselors. It is not wrong to seek help, and that is exactly what I did. I got help from counselors. I was honest with my husband, with my family, and with people at church. I decided even to be honest behind the camera. So here we are getting into legit videos that I recorded starting in the month of January of how hard it was and what I was going through. The weather today really accurately reflects how I'm feeling. It's rainy, it's gloomy. I feel so tired. I literally woke up crying this morning because I looked outside and it was another gloomy day. It's just been gloomy all the time because it's winter. And I would say the Midwest is pretty, like the winters are super cloudy. We don't get the sun as much until maybe April or May. April's pretty rainy too, but yeah, I'm just exhausted. And I don't even know why I turned on my camera right now. I don't know if I'm ever going to put this out. And if I do, it'll be later. But yeah, I'm just going through it. I feel so tired. But I guess I just want to kind of make a video diary of going through depression, going through these mental health things, and just have a diary of it, but also to hold myself accountable, because I don't want to go through this and not let it push me closer to the Lord and not let it be a beautiful part of my story, because even the hardships we go through, the hills and the valleys, are both beautiful, and I want it to be a part of my story that is beautiful and that I can embrace. And the only way I can really know and even think about how it could turn out beautiful is if I trust in the Lord through it. So also I need to So this morning, I haven't been to the gym in a week. I've been feeling depressed for at least down and exhausted for a month or two now, and really feeling these depression symptoms for the last month. And my doctor just told me that, I think once I went to the doctor and my blood results came back fine, was when I was like, it's totally all mental. It's my head, it's my mind, and it's not in a good space right now. So anyways, I haven't been to the gym in a week, and I know you're probably thinking, like, why are you talking about that? But today I forced myself to go, even though I've been having a really hard morning, and it was really good. I'm super glad I got out. I got to see just people in my town who I love, and people from the gym who I love, and it was really sweet. It was good to work out. It was good. It's gonna help me, I know. I went to Walmart and got some Synergy because I love this kombucha. Like, this is my favorite. So that's exciting, looking on the bright side. I really want to memorize Psalm 91. That's going to be my next thing, because I'm thinking in these moments where I'm hitting the lowest of lows and I'm sad and I'm crying and I'm feel so alone and just hopeless, I can focus on who God is and that He is my shelter. So really want to memorize Psalm 91. That's my goal. But yeah. One hard thing I'm walking through right now is just trying to be honest and real with my emotions and my feelings with Johnny, but feeling so bad because I know that it brings him down too. But I have to be real and honest about how I'm feeling, and I have to pray for him through this because I don't want him to feel down and depressed and lonely and sad through this too. But I'm thinking that's something I just have to give to the Lord and ask Him to take care of it. But I feel like a lot of times Johnny just doesn't understand, which is completely normal because he's never been through this. He's not going through it. And so even today, he's like, oh, we're going to lunch at this person's house. And I just told him I don't want to go. I just feel so exhausted. I feel so tired, and I don't want to put on a face that I'm happy when I don't feel happy at all, and I just don't know what to do. And I need energy for tonight because tonight is his young adults ministry, so I want to harbor in that energy as much as I can. Being with people is so hard for me right now. Anyways, this is vlog diary number 1 of going through depression. And I guess the one thing I want to say is that I want the Lord to be my shelter through this. I don't want to give up. I don't want depression and anxiety and all these things to weigh me down. I want to look to the Lord, and I want Him to be my strength right now. So, all that to say, I'm really, really, really tired, and I need to go inside and do things. But, yeah. Okay. Bye. So cute. Ay. So the last time I updated you was 3 months ago. I can't believe it's been that long. That was January. Now it's April, and it's kind of funny how I thought maybe I would get better faster than that, but I've still really been struggling with my mental health, and some days are better than others, but every day feels like, a lot of days feels like a battle. that I'm losing. And I feel bad because I'm not single anymore. This doesn't just affect me, it affects my husband too. And I think for me, that is the worst part, because I don't want to put him through hardship because of what I'm going through in my mind. So, yeah. I mean, I just don't know what to do anymore. I woke up this morning, I don't have any strength, I'm exhausted, and I'm so fearful and anxious even to do what I need to do today. But, like I said, I feel like I'm in a battle. I don't feel alone in this. I know that God is here to fight my battles. I've been studying so much of the Old Testament during this season because of our Old Testament Academy, or our Bible Study Academy. We just went through the Old Testament, and I've been learning so much, and just about how God always promised to fight Israel's battles, always. Like, God was the one who was supposed to fight their battles while they took a back seat and let him fight for them. And I think Israel really failed because, I mean, they didn't trust God to fight a lot of their battles. Some of them they did, but a lot of them they didn't. And ultimately, they didn't want God to fight their battles anymore. They begged for a king when that wasn't what they were supposed to have in that moment. They were supposed to trust God to be their king and to fight their battles. And this verse stood out to me from 1 Samuel 10:15. It says, "But today you have rejected your God who saves you from all your calamities and your distresses. And you have said to him, set a king over us." But today you have rejected your God who saves you from all your calamities and your distresses. I think what stood out to me really from that is that God is the one who saves us from our calamities and our distresses. And right now, I feel like I'm under so much distress and calamity just in my brain, in my own mind. So I need to trust God with my whole heart. Even though I really fail to do that every day, I need to turn to him and choose him in these moments that it's so hard to choose him. Update. I'm now seeing 2 counselors. I don't know if I told you, a doctor I went to wanted to put me on medication, and I'm just gonna see what doing counseling does for me before I take a route of medication. For me personally, I just want to see how much healing I can find through counseling. So we'll see. I've seen them a few times, maybe 4 different times, so for about a month maybe, and a lot of things have come up that I didn't even realize, which that's what counseling does, right? So we'll see. I just want to get better. Yeah. I don't know. It's just hard. So, hoping one day I can watch these videos and praise God for his faithfulness that he brought me through this. So, yeah. I don't know when I'll see you guys next. I don't know when I'll pick up the camera, but as of now, I'm not doing the best. Hopefully it'll get better. right now, I mean, it's starting to get warmer out. It's April, and it still looks dead though. It's cloudy. There's no leaves on the trees. Hoping that'll change soon, but you know what? It's gonna be okay, and I'm not gonna quit what I'm doing. I'm not gonna quit my life. I'm gonna keep exercising. I'm gonna keep walking. I'm gonna keep learning Spanish. I'm gonna keep going to events at church. I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep working. Like, I'm tempted to just give up on a lot of things, but I know that I'm not gonna give up. So, just trying to live in a state of positivity right now by being thankful to God for what I do have. And I mean, scripture says, don't be anxious about anything, but in everything with prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, present your request to God. So, just trying to be grateful, thankful for what I do have, what God has given me, and move on, press on, continue on to a day that maybe I will one day look back and say, Lord, you healed me from this. So that's what I'm doing. Had a pretty rough day on Sunday. It was kind of an emotional anxiety attack, and yeah, a lot to think about and a lot to reflect on. I'm seeing my counselor today, so hopefully she'll be able to help me pick apart the pieces on why that happened. And I don't know, it's just weird to me because I've never been like this before. I've never been super emotional, having anxiety, panic attacks a lot. But I actually do remember when I was a little girl, in 3rd grade, I was the same way. I was super emotional and tons of anxiety attacks, and it kept me from living my life. Even back then in 3rd grade, it feels like a very similar thing. I know there's some connections there. I don't know exactly what that means, but I'm just praying and asking God to help me sort those things out. Coming to you guys with a quick update. It's April 27th, and I was just crying. It's been a hard day. I can't really remember what I told you guys the last time, but it's been a really hard season, and it hasn't been getting any better. I just kind of keep hoping for the light at the end of the tunnel to show up. Neo? Mimi? Anyways, I just keep hoping for the light at the end of the tunnel to show up, but it's just never there. It's not showing up. Like, oh, hold on, my cat. Look, he is my therapy animal. Not kidding. Gift from God. But anyways, so I'm just having so much trouble with figuring out what's wrong with me. Like, literally that. I don't know if I should just let go and let the season happen and let God refine me through it, or if I should try to figure out what's wrong with me and work through it. And like, obviously that's what I'm doing with counseling, but I don't know if I should go see a doctor to get medication. I don't know if there's something else wrong with me, because I've been so fatigued to the point that it's disrupting a lot of my life. And I think what makes me the most sad, and the reason I was just crying, was because it affects our marriage. It affects Johnny. And like, for example, tonight I couldn't go to his ministry at church because this past week was so full for me. And I told him I mentally, physically, emotionally can't go. I'm just exhausted. I've hit the wall, and I'll be giving from an empty cup tonight, and I can't do that, or else I'll just be burnt out beyond what I know. So, and of course that makes him sad because he wants his wife to be with him in ministry, and I want to be there too. I just don't have any energy or strength. And so, yeah, I don't know what to do, you guys. I don't know what to do. I just feel stuck. I don't know. I feel like, when is this gonna end? It just feels hopeless and hard. But I don't know. I don't know what else I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. Hopefully the next time I see you, things will be a little better. I don't know. Something that came to light today, kind of just learned this through counseling, which is crazy because I don't think I ever would have thought this before, or just figured this out. But as you guys might know, there's different types of attachment styles. This is all counseling talk. So if you don't understand this, you should just Google it. But there's different types of attachment styles, and I have the anxious attachment style. I've had it my whole life with my mom, and of course it comes up in adult relationships when you get married or when you start, getting into a relationship. So today all just kind of came clear to me that I have attachment style, the anxious attachment style, and it's affecting my life, my emotions, my health in ways that are not good. I'm sort of glad that came to light, but it does stink because it feels like the beginning of a long journey of trying to heal that, which is really hard because it's been ingrained in me since I was a child to have this like anxious clinginess and anxious attachment. So yeah, I'm glad that it was brought to light. I'm glad that the counseling that I'm doing is paying off, but it's kind of like, where do I go from here? How do I heal that? How do I get through that? Because it can be really hard. So yeah, thankful, but also a little overwhelmed by this long hike or hill that I have to climb up to kind of overcome this. But I know I'm not alone. I've been meditating on Isaiah 40, I think, if that's the verse, but those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. Mount up like wings like eagles, run and not grow weary, walk and not grow faint. So I hope I quoted that right. I might not have, but anyways, I'll let you guys go. Just another update for ya. All right, you guys, I want to give you guys kind of a bit of an update on my journey. It is currently June 12th, so it's been some time since I filmed my last video, update video, but I decided to take the route of seeing a functional medicine doctor, and a functional medicine doctor is someone who doesn't just treat your symptoms with medication, but they try to get to the root cause of your symptoms to see what's wrong with, what might be going wrong with your body, and try to treat those symptoms by treating the root cause of whatever is going on with your body. And I was just getting so tired and so fatigued that I thought I might as well try to see what's wrong with me, see if it's anything physical in my body. So I went all the way to Chicago, drove 3.5, 4 hours to Chicago to see a doctor that I had found, and he was incredible. I got a ton of tests done, and I even got gut tests done and blood tests done and everything like that. And today I just had a meeting with him and to see all my results, and it's interesting to see there are a few things off within my body, just with my blood and with my gut health. So yeah, now I'm going to be getting a ton of supplements and just changing things in my diet to try to heal my gut, which he said the gut is actually 80% of your immune system is within the gut. So when you heal your gut and you get things fixed with your gut, then things kind of just start to fall into place. He said the foundation of your health should always be good sleep, eating good healthy foods, getting exercise, moving your body, and then keeping your stress and mental health. Just always working on that and making sure that that's in a healthy spot as well. So yeah, right now I need to focus on getting good sleep, eating good, healthy foods for my body and for my gut, exercising. I used to do CrossFit, and he actually told me to stop doing CrossFit and to just do light, moderate exercise, so walking and biking. So I'm going to be doing that. And then, of course, still working on my mental health. I have a counselor, and just working through those things. And then I have all these supplements to help me heal my gut and everything like that. So just getting over a cold. So, still feeling pretty tired just because I'm getting over a cold and trying to work through, getting healed up. But I feel a little more hopeful today just because I got those tests back and I'm ready to just improve my health. And he did talk about if in 8 to 12 weeks, if I'm not feeling better, then we're going to reevaluate and we're going to talk more about mental health and how maybe I need to take a different route with that or whatever. But for now, I need to get the foundations together of sleeping, exercising, eating, everything like that, and then take these supplements and go from there. So yeah, I'm so happy that I saw a functional medicine doctor. I feel so blessed that I was able to go see him and that he was covered with my insurance. So yeah, just feeling happy and blessed and thankful. So yeah, now I gotta buy all these supplements, which is pretty expensive, but your health is worth it. My health is worth it. It's worth it to take the steps to feel good, right? So I will see you next time, you guys. I hope things are only going to start going uphill, but we'll see. Hey friend, thank you so much for watching so much of this video. I am now filming. It is currently up to date. And this is about 8 months to a year after that whole journey began of working through so many different areas of my life that just needed refining, that needed to be confronted, that needed me to walk through the hard, to walk through the uncomfortable, to walk through the painful, in order for healing to come, in order for change to come, in order for me to become the person that Christ wants me to be. And at the beginning of this video, I told you that through this whole journey, there was something that I was clinging on to. And it's the only thing that we truly can cling on to, and that is Christ himself. There was nothing that gave me hope like he did. And although during this time I really struggled in my relationship with the Lord, with seeking him, having the energy to seek him, the one thing that was consistent through it all was him and his word. That he would never leave me or forsake me, that he had a plan through all of this, that all of these hard things were for my good and for my perfection, right? James 1, count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. So that is truly our only hope in this life. And as I edit this video and look back on this video, I can fully 100% tell you that I trust the Lord with my whole life, no matter what I go through. And he gives and he takes away, but I will say, blessed be the name of the Lord. No matter what he gives in my life, no matter what he takes away, I will say, blessed be the name of the Lord every day. Anyways, so I want to just update you from the last video, because the last video was quite a while ago too. I saw a functional medicine doctor, and he put me on a 3-month regimen to heal my body, to heal my gut, to work through certain issues that I was having, vitamin deficiencies. And so not only was I struggling mentally, but my body was also struggling physically. I needed things to help me. And sadly, modern medicine could not give that to me. They could not find out what was wrong with my body. So I decided to go down the road of functional medicine. If you do not know what that is, look it up. If you're struggling right now physically in some way, maybe functional medicine will be good for you. It was incredible for me. And I am so incredibly thankful to God and to my doctor for helping me get through this hard time. So I'm still seeing him. I'm still on the 3-month regimen, and I'm just so thankful that I was able to find answers through physical health. Through mental health, I was able to see 2 counselors. One counselor I'm still working with today, and it has been so incredible. She is a believer. She has walked through me through these hills and these valleys and reminded me of God's truth, which I have very much so needed during this time. I've learned how to confront my emotions, how to handle my emotions, and be honest with my emotions. Something that I'm still working on to this day. But I'm working on it, right? I'm not just ignoring it and shoving it under the rug anymore, but I'm actually working on it. Spiritual health has gotten so much better. I felt during that time, I just felt so weak spiritually. Like, it was hard even running coffee and Bible time, because it was hard for me to seek the Lord. And then I have to teach other people how to do that. But it was just so hard for me. And you know what? Every season is going to look different, and you have to give yourself grace no matter what season you're in. If you try to seek the Lord where you're at and it doesn't look perfect, that's okay. I learned that during that time. My food anxiety has gotten so much better. I've been able to branch out and eat so many different foods without having anxiety. I've been on multiple different vacations since our honeymoon, and I've been able to enjoy the foods. So that is so encouraging. I mean, mainly what I want to tell you in this video is that I am by far not 100% better. I still have social anxiety. I still struggle with accepting me, the person who God made me to be. But I guess after seeing that functional medicine doctor, I went on a missions trip to Spain. And during that time, I had moments with the Lord where I just told him, I am ready. I am ready to overcome. I am ready to push through. And I'm ready to open the door into a new season. And God has been walking me through that door. He has been walking me through the end of the tunnel where there is light. And I'm not saying it's perfect. I still have my struggles. I still have my issues. You can just ask Johnny. But I can tell you that I just feel so much better. And I thank the Lord, and I want to be a testimony to the Lord right now that He is so good. He is a miracle working God. He cares for you. He loves you. He sees you. He knows you, and He is there for you. So that is how I'm going to close out this video today, is just by proclaiming God's goodness. And I'm just so happy I can even sit here and film this today. Really, it makes my heart so happy. So that's all I'm going to share for today's video. I know it was a really long video. If you watched this far, can you please let me know in the comments and just say, hey, I watched to the end, and let me know how God is coming through for you in your life right now. Maybe you cannot see it, maybe you cannot feel it, but what is one thing that you can be grateful for? Maybe do some self-reflecting, think on what you've been through, where God has brought you, where you have come from. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!